Okay, this is the Monday homework check for the 4th grade class that's working on Q2. This is the last lesson or last week of instruction in Q2. And we start off with, what is the value of the underlined digit? Now I want you to think value. Value means what something is worth. So if I say, what's the value of your new tennis shoes, or the value of a game console that you have, you're going to want a number. So the way we do that, we look at this 8, we bring it straight down, and everything to the right becomes a 0. That is the value of the 8. Now if that had said place value with the word place, then we would tell what place it's in, the tens place, but it doesn't say place, so be careful. We're still getting that confused. So the value of this 8, we write it underneath it, fill in everything else with zeros, and it's worth 80,000. Okay, finding the difference always means subtract. So even if you know you need to solve a problem and you need to know the difference between two numbers, you know you need to subtract. Okay, 8 minus 6 is 2. 8 minus 6 is 2. 3 minus 5, let's go borrow. 13 minus 5 is 8. 4 minus 9, let's borrow. 14 minus 9 is 5. And 3 minus 1 is 2. So 25,822. Okay, let's practice setting up this division problem. We have the divisor on the outside, the dividend in the box. And what we're going to do is stretch out this dividend, okay? We're going to put spaces in between each of our digits. All right, and we're going to draw a line right behind each number. So we're making groups of 5. How many groups of 5 can you get out of 8? 1, because 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract. We bring our leftovers right up next to the next digit. How many groups of 5 can we get out of 33? 6, because 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract, we get a difference of 3, which pops right up here. How many groups of 5 can we get out of 36? That would be 7, because 7 times 5 is 35. Subtract, bring our leftovers right up. And how many groups of 5 can we get out of 15? 3, because 3 times 5 is 15. So our final answer is right up here, but I'm going to recopy it here, 1,673. Tulsa, Oklahoma had a population of 34,728 people last year. This year the population has grown by 4,833 people. How many people now live in Tulsa? So they did have this many, and they grew. That means they got some more people. Here we go. 8 plus 3, 11. Now 3 and 2 and 1 is like 3 and 3, 6. 7 and 8, 15. Now 4 and 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Bring down this 3. And let's see what word we need. How many people now live in Tulsa? 39,561 people. And we should not misspell this word. It's right there for you. Jonathan has 238 stickers to give to the kids in his club. There are 9 kids. If he gives the same number of stickers to each kid, how many stickers will Jonathan have left over? It doesn't say how many stickers will each kid get. It wants to know the leftovers. It's going to want to know the remainder, okay, what's remaining. So that means we're going to do 238, stretch it out, divided by 9. Okay, and I know that I cannot get a group of 9 out of 2, so I'm not even going to draw a line there. So we're looking at groups of 9 out of 23. That would be 2, be 18, and that would be a difference of 5, which pops right up here. How many groups of 9 out of 58? That would be 6, because 6 times 9 is 54. And look what's left over. But you can't just leave it like this. You have to answer the question. You would say 4 stickers are left over, or 4 stickers left. So don't goof that. Make sure you answer the question that's being asked. Okay, complete the pattern. I know from 45 to 51 is a jump of 6, and from 51 to 57 is also a jump of 6. I also know that it's increasing in value each time, so the rule is plus 6. And you have to figure out the rule before you can complete the missing numbers. So from 57 up to 60 is a jump of 3, plus 3 more, 63. 63 plus 6 more would be 69. And 69 to 70, that's 1. And then 70 plus 5 more would be 75. All right, compare fractions. When I say compare or you read compare, you should automatically think greater than, less than, or equal to. And we've been working on, yes, drawing the fractions. So we're going to do, there are 2 on each side. So we're going to start with the 2/10 and the 4/8. So on the top, my goodness, I have to have 10. So what I'm going to do is put 5 on each side. And what I do, since 5 is odd, I put a strip right down the middle, and I split the other strips, and I only get to color in 2 of those. All right, now I get to do 4/8. So 8 is even, I split it right down the middle. And now I'm going to split these 4 pieces in half, and then I'll have 8. And I get to color in 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And it's very easy to see which one is greater. But when we read this, we have to read it left to right. We have to say 2/10, the one on top, is less than 4/8. Okay, now let's try another one. Let's do 7/8 and the 5/9. Something tells me this one's going to be closer. So the top one, I have to make 8 pieces. So I need 4 on each side. I'm trying my best to get them about even. And then we color in 7. Sometimes they're so close though. You need to do a mathematical trick to truly know which one's bigger, and that's what we're working toward. That's what we'll go to next. And you will no longer have to draw them. But it's good to be able to prove your point in a model. So here we have 7/8. Now we need to do 9ths. So that means I need 1 piece in the middle and 4 on each side. I think I can do that. And I get to color in 5 of them. And this one is not even close. It's very easy to see. But we have to read this left to right. We have to say 7/8 is greater than 5/9. And here's our proof. All right, find the sum. Now, eventually, I mean, you'll get so good at this that you could look at this horizontally. But for right now, I want to teach you something. Like 4/7 doesn't have a whole number. We're going to do it vertically, but we put the wholes on the left and the fractions on the right. So because this doesn't, it's like having a 0 right here. So just imagine that there, okay? All right, now we have 4/7 plus 5/7. That's like saying 4 pieces plus 5 pieces. Well, then we would have 9 pieces, right? And the pieces are called 7ths. We bring down the 1. Now the problem is, see how this top number is bigger? That's called an improper fraction, and we can't leave it that way. And when that happens, what that means is we can pull another whole out of that 9/7. Now think about it. How many 7ths would we need to make the whole? We would need 7 7/7. So we're going to pull that out, and that will give us 1 more whole. So we don't have 1 whole anymore, we have 2. And if I pulled 7/7 out, how many would that leave? 2 7ths left over. So our final answer is 2 and 2/7. Okay, now let's work on finding the difference. We're going to set this up vertically as well. 2 and 2/5 minus 3/5. Look, we have a column for our fractions, a column for our whole numbers, but this one doesn't have, the 3/5 does not have a whole, so you are imagining the 0, okay? All right, now we've got 2/5 minus 3/5. Uh-oh. This is like a problem that would say 2 minus 3. Well, you can't do that. So what we have to do, we're going to borrow, just like we would in a regular problem. We're going to borrow one whole. That'll leave us with one whole. Now, how many fifths are we borrowing? We're borrowing 5, because 5/5 equals that one that we borrowed. Now we have to take the 5/5 that we borrowed and add it to the 2/5, and that would give us 7/5. Now we can do the problem. Now we can do 7 minus 3, and that would be 4/5, and we have one whole as well. So our final answer is 1 and 4/5. Okay, last one. Kristen went to the store and bought 3/4 of a pound of grapes and 3/4 of a pound of mandarins. You know those little oranges you guys have been eating lately? How many pounds of fruit did Kristen buy? So we want to take this much and add it all up. So we're going to do 3/4 plus 3/4. Remember, the fourths are like pieces. The fourth tells you what size they are, but we can say 3 pieces plus 3 pieces equals 6 pieces. Okay, and the pieces are fourths. Now remember, when the top number is bigger, it's improper. We can't leave it that way. So we're going to pull a whole out of there, and a whole would be 4/4. Okay, so here's our 1. And how many would we have left over? We would have 2. They're still fourths. Have you noticed the denominator did not change? But I hope you recognize that, 2/4, that's the same as 1/2. So 1 and 2/4 equals 1 and 1/2. And it says how many pounds of fruit. That's the label we need. 1.5 pounds of fruit. Awesome, and we're done for today.